Get what you want from every negotiation with these FBI-proven techniques. Today, we're diving into the best-selling book, Never Split the Difference, by Chris Voss, a former FBI hostage negotiator whose expertise has redefined negotiation tactics. Chris Voss isn't just any author. He's a man who has stared down terrorists, bank robbers, and kidnappers. He's distilled these experiences into techniques anyone can use to become more persuasive and effective in any negotiation. The first technique is tactical empathy. This isn't just understanding someone's feelings, it's using that understanding to influence the negotiation. By actively listening and echoing their emotions, you create a connection that makes the other person more open and trusting. Why does this work? Because when people feel understood, their defense is lower. They're more likely to listen to you and consider your perspective. To apply this, next time you're in a negotiation, focus on the other person's emotions. Listen closely, then reflect their feelings back to them. It's not about agreeing, but about showing you understand. Next, we have the accusation audit. This involves listing every negative thing the other person could say about you and addressing them up front. It sounds counterintuitive, but it's incredibly effective. This technique disarms the other person. By acknowledging their concerns before they even voice them, you're showing honesty and transparency. In practice, before your next negotiation, think about potential criticisms and address them at the beginning. This sets a tone of openness and trust. Mirroring is another powerful tool. It involves repeating the last few words the other person says. This simple act encourages them to continue talking, often revealing more than they intended. Mirroring works because it makes the other person feel heard and prompts them to elaborate. To use it, just repeat the last 3 words of what someone says, but in a questioning tone. It's subtle, yet incredibly effective in getting more information. Then there's labeling. This involves naming the other person's feelings or perspective. For example, saying, "It seems like you're worried about the cost." This validates their feelings without agreeing or disagreeing. Labeling works because it shows empathy and understanding. To apply it, listen for emotional cues and put a label on them. It helps in navigating the conversation and understanding the other person's standpoint better. The 7-38-55 rule is about understanding that only 7% of a message is conveyed through words, 38% through tone of voice, and 55% through body language. This means how you say something is often more important than what you say. In practice, pay attention to not just your words, but also your tone and body language. This awareness can change the entire dynamic of the negotiation. The no-oriented question is a unique approach where you frame your questions so that the answer is no. It sounds counterintuitive, but saying no gives people a sense of control and safety, making them more open to discussion. Why does this work? When someone says no, they feel like they're protecting themselves, which lowers their guard. In practice, instead of asking, "Is now a good time to talk?" ask, "Is now a bad time to talk?" This subtle shift can lead to more constructive conversations. Next is the calibrated question. These are open-ended questions, typically starting with how or what, that compel the other person to think and provide more information. For example, how can we solve this problem? Calibrated questions work because they put the onus on the other person to find a solution. This not only gives you insight into their thought process, but also makes them feel part of the solution. To use this, focus on asking questions that start with how or what in your next negotiation. The bending reality technique is about managing expectations. It's not about lying or deceiving, but about framing your arguments in a way that the other person sees your offer as more valuable. This technique works by altering the perceived value of what's being negotiated. For instance, if you're asking for a raise, instead of just stating a number, explain the value you bring and how it's a bargain for that price. This changes the narrative from cost to value. The Ackerman Model is a structured method for haggling. Start by setting your target price, then calculate 3 decreasing increments, 65%, 85%, 95% of your target. Begin with your lowest offer, 65%, and use the increments to negotiate to your target price. The Ackerman Model works because it's systematic and allows for flexibility while keeping your goal in sight. When you use it, be firm but fair, and always be ready to adjust based on the other person's responses. Implementing these techniques in your daily life can transform your interactions. Start small, practice regularly, and watch as your conversations and negotiations improve. Remember, These are just glimpses of the wisdom Chris Voss shares in Never Split the Difference. If you're intrigued and want to delve deeper into these techniques, find the book link in our bio. And if you want to keep discovering actionable techniques to improve your skills and life, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. See you next time.